So, all my dear students, once again, I welcome you all. In the previous class, we discussed APJ Abdul Kalam's three different visions. One, the freedom. Two, India's development. And the third, which will be discussed today in this class, that is military and economic power. So friends, as you know, APJ Abdul Kalam has a specific vision in order to develop our country. The first two visions I discussed in detail in my previous class. And of course, in this lecture, I am going to talk on the third vision that APJ Abdul Kalam wanted to make our country a military and economic power. According to APJ Abdul Kalam, India must stand up to the world because he strongly believed that unless we stand up, no one will ever respect us. APJ Abdul Kalam thought that strength respects strength. Power respects power. It means until and unless a country is not going to be strengthened by all means, the other nations or stronger nations in the world will never recognize the strength of India. He also thought that it is the must for our country to develop the nation as far as military and economic affairs are concerned. Our military and our economy should be strong. Once it is strong, no one will have a green eye upon. He also thought that military and power development should go hand in hand. As you know, if you see the international affairs, you will realize that America is considered to be the strongest nation in the world. As far as economy is concerned, military is concerned, technological development is concerned, by all means, America stands the best. But similarly, you have other couple of powers which are standing opposite. You have a Russia that is competing with the America. These days we have seen how China is coming up well. In the same way, APJ Abdul Kalam wanted our country to be developed as early as possible. Because until and unless you have a very strong military and a very economy, the world will never admire whatever you are doing in order to develop your country. So this is the third vision that APJ Abdul Kalam had in order to make India as a developed country more particularly a strong military and economic power. Towards the end of this particular section, APJ Abdul Kalam talks about a kind of good fortune that he got in the course of his association with Government of India. He felt that he got an opportunity of life to work with a great person like Vikram Sarabhai. He thought that he was really very lucky to work with Professor Satish Dhawan and Dr. Brahma Prakash. Probably these names you might have read in the newspaper, or else the students, those who have watched the movie Mangalyaan, probably you might have come across these names also. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai was associated with the Department of Space, Government of India. He was succeeded by Professor Satish Dhawan, again from the Department of Space, Government of India. And you have a third name, that is Brahma Prakash, who was or who is considered to be the father of nuclear material. APJ Abdul Kalam gives credit for his own professional approach to life to these three personalities, because he could learn a lot from Vikram Sarabhai, Satish Dhawan, and Dr. Brahma Prakash. So these are the three visions that APJ Abdul Kalam had to make our country a really developed one. So once again, I take a recap. Vision 1, freedom. Not the freedom of the self, but we should also protect the freedom of others and nurture freedom and build freedom. Vision 2, the author talked about India's development. He wanted to see India as a developed nation by 2020. And the third vision that he had for our country, for Indians, and that was nothing but making our country as a military and economic power. So these are the three very important sections that we learn from the speech delivered by APJ Abdul Kalam at IIT Hyderabad. Now we have the second part of the same speech. In the subsequent part, APJ Abdul Kalam talks about 4 milestones in his career. Mind it well, there are several turning points in our lives. And if at all you learn few things out of your own experience, definitely you can create your own path of success. And I think APJ Abdul Kalam did it very systematically with a lot of planning. As I said earlier also, APJ Abdul Kalam was associated with Indian Space Research Organization. He spent almost 20 years over there of his entire career. He was associated with Government of India for a long period of time. But almost half of his job, or half of the tenure of his job, he spent at Indian Space Research Organization. In the course of time, he was given a very important position in the hierarchy. He was appointed as project director for India's first satellite launch vehicle, which is known as SLV-3. So SLV-3 that launched Rohini, which was a satellite developed over there with the launching vehicle called SLV-3. And according to APJ Abdul Kalam, that was the first milestone in his life. He always treated this particular experience as the first bliss in his life. APJ Abdul Kalam worked as a scientist. He played very important roles for 20 years in ISRO. But there was one more turning point in his life when he got an opportunity to get associated with DRDO. Because this DRDO was involved into the research and development of guided missile. And APJ Abdul Kalam got an opportunity to lead that particular team. He was the part of India's guided missile program, and APJ Abdul Kalam himself felt that that was the second milestone in his life, and that has given a different turn, a different shape, a different track to his career. And so he himself has agreed in his speech that this was the second bliss when Agni met its mission requirement in 1994. So this is how, as we are talking about 4 different milestones in the APJ Abdul Kalam's career, and 2 of them, as I said just before, one, his association with ISRO for 20 years, and subsequently the opportunity that he got to work for DRDO. These are the 2 important milestones in his life. Actually, the Department of Atomic Energy and DRDO, they worked together. They had a partnership in the nuclear test, which was conducted on 11th and 13th of May. And APJ Abdul Kalam agreed that that was the third bliss or a third milestone in his career. Because his direct involvement with and the experience with the Department of Atomic Energy and his association with DRDO, he could show off his leadership skills by coordinating 2 different departments and bringing them together in order to develop something very exclusive for the nation that really made a remarkable development for the nation also. That proved to the world that India was no longer a developing nation, but we were among them. In fact, the successful nuclear test made APJ Abdul Kalam feel very proud as an Indian, because he himself was also associated with the success story. He developed a very light material called carbon, because they wanted a kind of material that should be a very light material in order to make Agni missile a kind of re-entry into the space. And in the course of their development and research at DRDO, since that laboratory is exclusively meant for that, defense, research, development, and APJ Abdul Kalam, along with his team members, they developed a material called carbon-carbon, which was a very light, or which is a very light material, and that was used for Agni missile re-entry structure into the space. So this is how, one after the other, so many developments were taking place over there. And of course, you will realize that the author was also doing his level best in order to contribute from his own end. But now you see here how the things really move on in the right direction. And the material which was meant for Agni re-entry structure into the space, that was later on used by a doctor for his patients. In the course of the speech, the author talks about the fourth milestone in his life. Subsequent section of this particular lecture, APJ Abdul Kalam talks about the fourth and the last bliss that he had. He talked about an incident when APJ Abdul Kalam, along with his team members working in the DRDO Hyderabad, an orthopedic surgeon from Nizam Institute of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad, visited DRDO lab, and coincidentally, he found that particular material, that is carbon-carbon, that was so light, and probably orthopedic surgeon might have realized that this material called carbon-carbon is going to be very much helpful for his patients. So one fine day, the orthopedic surgeon personally invited Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He took APJ Abdul Kalam to Nizam Institute of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad. There, APJ Abdul Kalam could see a few children who were handicapped and using heavy metallic calipers weighing around 3 kg or so for each. If at all there is a person, there is a small child who is handicapped by both the legs, he was supposed to carry the heavy metallic calipers of 3 plus 3, 6 kg weight. APJ Abdul Kalam realized the purpose of the visit and the purpose of the request both. The doctor requested APJ Abdul Kalam to remove the pain of his patients. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam realized the importance and the need, and in a very short period of time, hardly in the span of 3 weeks, APJ Abdul Kalam and his team developed floor reaction orthosis 300 gram calipers at DRDO, and afterwards they were supplied to, the calipers were supplied to Nizam Institute of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad. Of course, after receiving the parcel, doctor was the happiest person in the world. He provided all these very lightweight calipers made up of carbon material to his patients. They were supplied to the orthopedic center first, and later on they were fixed wherever required to the different types of patients. And when the patients got these Orthosys 300-gram calipers fixed to their body, the patients had tears in their eyes. So probably APJ Abdul Kalam realized that was the fourth bliss in his life, when something which was developed out of lot of research in DRDO laboratory in order to make Agni the re-entry into the space, the same carbon material was used for the patients, and he could never forget that particular experience with the doctor and the patients of Nizam Institute of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad. So this is how APJ Abdul Kalam talks about the 4 milestones in his life. First bliss or first milestone, to work for ISRO for 20 years and working for SLV3 that launched Rohini. Then he was associated with DRDO. That was the second bliss for him, second milestone in life, because he worked for Agni missile development, and the mission was a grand success. The third bliss was nothing but to get associated with Department of Atomic Energy and DRDO. They developed nuclear test, or they took the nuclear test in partnership. That was again a grand success. That was the third bliss. And the fourth bliss, that is the fourth milestone, is nothing but he could help out the patients at NIMS, and nowadays also the same calipers are being used for the orthopedic patients. And that was the fourth bliss or a fourth milestone in his life. So this is how APJ Abdul Kalam has very systematically put forward his ideas about the kind of experiences that he got in the course of his long span of time and association with Government of India. To take a recap, in the previous class, I talked about Vision 1, freedom; Vision 2, making our country a developed country; Vision 3, making our country as a military and economic power. Then subsequently, I started talking about the 4 milestones in the life of APJ Abdul Kalam. That is, the first milestone, SLV3 and the launch of Rohini. Milestone number 2, Agni missile met its mission requirements in 1994. The third bliss was nothing but the nuclear test and its grand success. And the fourth bliss, as I talked about just before, that was nothing but helping out orthopedic patients in order to provide them the calipers made up of carbon material. So this is how APJ Abdul Kalam has continuously spoke about the kind of contributions that he had made in the course of a long span of time. I think whatever he did during his professional commitment to the Government of India, each and every attempt by or made by APJ Abdul Kalam is itself a success story. But as he has been talking about a few very positive aspects, similarly, there are a few aspects which are little bit negative also. But I think due to the time constraint, I will not be able to address that particular point. In my next lecture, I will talk about the kind of questions which are raised by APJ Abdul Kalam in his speech. Subsequently, he talked about the success story of India, how Indians are standing first in the milk production, how we are number one in remote sensing satellites, where do we stand as far as wheat production and rice production is concerned, and what are the other people in the country, those who have immensely contributed in order to make our country a real success. But friends, due to the time constraints, I think I will not be able to initiate with the new section or the another section in this particular lesson titled as I have 3 visions for India, written by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam.